Welcome to this digital insurer video. Today we'll be talking with Michael Costonis, the Accenture Global Insurance Claims Lead, on drivers of change in the insurance industry. Michael, welcome.
Thank you.
The insurance industry has seen tremendous change in the past few years. What is driving these changes?
So when we look at the drivers of change that are out there, it's clear that we've got external and internal drivers of change. There are really probably four that make the biggest difference. The first one is this notion of new profit pools. So when we think about this, if you were to just walk into any boardroom across the country and pull a strategic plan, they all kind of look the same. We aim to grow in market X with product Y by following distribution channel Z. What we're starting to see is a significant capacity in the marketplace that's chasing the next best customer, the next best segment with the next best product. Insurance products are becoming kind of more consumption-based and more temporal. They're not just the classic contract of adhesion that we send across the wire and has our terms and conditions. They are, now I'm going to take a trip, or now I bought a new device, or whatever it happens to be. So there are new profit pools out there that are available, and there's lots of capacity that's chasing it, not just necessarily from insurance companies. The second big area is this notion of digital competition. So who actually has access to the customer, who has the information, and who's building that relationship?
Speaking of customers, how do they fit into the picture?
I think the most compelling thing that shows up on this page is actually this next dimension of customer. I think in the past, this is probably the biggest shift that we've had, where insurance tended to kind of dictate the pace with regard to what the features were of the product, how service would actually work. You would fill out a certain form, things would happen in a certain way, this is how you would pay, etc. And what we started to really see is the customers saying, wait a minute, especially in the personal lines world, we expect a very different way to interact with you. We want to have it on our terms, we want it to be transparent, fast, etc. And the insurance companies are now looking at that saying, okay, well, how do I react to that behavior? Because there is definitely a link between how I'm going to interact and what do I do with loyalty on the longer term.
What are other drivers of change in the insurance industry?
A fourth big point, we can't deny it, we see it everywhere, is this notion of technology innovation. We went through that phase of mainframe to client server to web-based, and now this next set of technology is a lot more wide open in terms of what it can do and how it interacts. And then the last point, I don't think we can ever forget this, insurance is in the business of making money. So we have a massive pressure on profitability. It comes from a few different places, not to mention regulatory and competition.
What questions should insurance leaders consider as they try to adapt to these changes?
The first one is insurance, in some lines of insurance, are we just a utility? Are we a low-cost, industrialized model? Are we just incredibly efficient at attracting and churning and burning customers to be able to achieve a certain profit level? Or on the other side, are we this hyper customer-centric model with highly differentiated products and services, kind of the two dichotomies? And I think the key thing is, regardless of which one we actually choose, we have to keep the same thing in mind when we develop that model. And the customer has to be at the center of the journey that we're going to take.
Michael, thank you for sharing your expertise with us. In the next installment of this video series, we'll examine changes in customer behavior and the implications for insurers. To learn more about Accenture's insurance practice, visit accenture.com/insurance.